In 1776, America declared its independence from Britain. The dream was freedom, but not everyone was free. While the nation broke its chains from British rule, millions of enslaved people still lived in bondage. A divided nation was born, half free, half slave. But from the heart of poverty, in a tiny log cabin in Kentucky, a child was born. A boy who would one day unite a broken country and redefine freedom for the world. His name was Abraham Lincoln. Born on February 12, 1809, in a one-room log cabin, Abraham Lincoln had nothing: no wealth, no comfort, no privilege. His father, Thomas Lincoln, was a poor farmer. His mother, Nancy, taught him kindness and honesty, lessons that would shape his soul. But when Abraham was just 9 years old, tragedy struck. His mother died, leaving a void that would never truly heal. Still, the boy refused to give up. With barely a year of schooling in his life, Lincoln taught himself to read, studying by the glow of a fire, using wooden boards when he had no paper. He devoured every book he could find: the Bible, Aesop's fables, and tales of history and law. The poor farm boy was quietly forging the mind of a future leader. When his father remarried, his stepmother, Sarah, became his greatest supporter. She saw something special in him, a hunger for learning and a heart full of empathy. As Lincoln grew, so did his strength. He split logs, plowed fields, and earned the nickname Rail Splitter. But his journey took a turn when he traveled to New Orleans at 19 and saw enslaved people being sold like property. That moment burned into his heart. It was the day he began to hate slavery. Later, while working as a store clerk in New Salem, Lincoln's honesty became legend. If he overcharged a customer by a few cents, he'd walk miles to return the money. People began calling him Honest Abe. In the evenings, he told stories that made people laugh and speeches that made them think. The boy from the frontier was learning the power of words. At 23, Lincoln ran for state legislature and lost. But instead of quitting, he learned, studied, and came back stronger. He taught himself law, reading every book he could borrow, walking miles just to return them. In 1834, he ran again, and this time he won. From there, his career grew: lawyer, legislator, and soon a respected voice for fairness and freedom. He lost many elections, more than he won, but every failure shaped him. Lincoln once said, "I will prepare, and someday my chance will come." And it did. By the 1850s, America was tearing itself apart over slavery. When Congress passed the Kansas-Nebraska Act, allowing new states to choose whether to allow slavery, Lincoln could no longer stay silent. He spoke out with words that shook the nation. "A house divided against itself cannot stand." He warned that America could not survive half free and half slave. Though he lost the 1858 Senate race to Stephen Douglas, his debates made him a national name. The world had found a voice that spoke truth to power. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. But his victory split the country. Southern states seceded, forming the Confederacy, and war followed. The Civil War was brutal: brother against brother, town against town. Lincoln, once a farm boy with no military training, now carried the weight of a nation at war. Defeats came. Critics mocked him, yet he never surrendered hope. Night after night, he studied maps, read reports, and wrote letters to grieving families. He was not just fighting a war. He was fighting for the soul of America. Then, on January 1st, 1863, he took a step that changed history forever. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring freedom for enslaved people in the South. The war was no longer just about saving the Union. It was about saving humanity. In 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg became the war's turning point. Months later, Lincoln stood on that battlefield and gave one of the most powerful speeches in history. In just 2 minutes, "That government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth." Those words gave a bleeding nation new purpose. 2 years later, the war finally ended. Slavery was abolished. The Union was saved. But the victory came at a terrible cost. Just 5 days after the Confederate surrender, Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater. The man who rose from a log cabin to the White House, who freed the slaves and united a broken land, was gone. Abraham Lincoln's life was proof that greatness isn't born. It's built. He faced poverty, loss, and endless failure. But through honesty, hard work, and compassion, he rose to change the world. Today, his words still echo. "I am a slow walker, but I never walk back." From log cabin to legacy, Lincoln's story reminds us that no matter where you start, with courage and purpose, you can move mountains. If this story inspired you, give this video a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe English with Fakhar Abbas for more stories of the leaders who changed the world. Because history isn't just about the past, it's about the power within you to shape the future.